gosh, I brought Westwood up. Sorry. He's sharing, and you should too. So like and share this video. It is May 5th, so give us a 5 by 5. And it's 2023, so give me another 5. Give me a 5 by 5 by 5. It is National Hoagie Day. Did you know that? I just found that out today. So that's what we're here celebrating. We're going to give you guys information on our next meetup in June, where you can join us and learn about cryptos and talk about freedom, fun, fam, and get some great information and big hugs from Westwood. So stick with us, share this video, and we'll be right back with Westwood after he shares it. You should do the same right after this. Welcome back, Westwood. Sorry about that. I got so distracted talking to you about all the news, the stuff going on. I forgot to pull you down off the
You're pulling me off the cliff. Get off the ladder. Get off the building.
Yeah. So give me a 5 by 5 by 5. It is not Cinco de Mayo. It's Happy Hoagie Day today.
Do the hokey pokey. It'd be the okey pokey, right? We'll do the okey pokey.
It could be the okey pokey today. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of great stuff happening in Oklahoma. Very proud of Senator Mullins and Representative Bice today.
Bice baby.
Bice baby. Thank you for working hard for Oklahomans. She put up a bill to introduce free markets in mortgages, free market mortgages. Apparently Biden's doing this stupid thing where people with bad credit, one of the many stupid things, this thing where people with bad credit should get better rates, and people that make more money and have better credit should pay more for mortgages. And so she said, no. Free markets.
The road to freedom.
The road to freedom. Yes. Somebody we know sings a song like that. I think his name is Bix. Or Glix. Maybe Glix.
Let's go.
Yeah. Good to see you, Papa Joe. Great to see you, Tom, Silver Jim. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Mark Weems, Crypto Mojo, Ron. I'm glad to hear that you are
Papa Joe hanging out today.
Lots of, yes, I said Papa Joe.
You did.
Lots of love. Yep. Daddy-O. Warrior 32. Benny, I've got your coins for Sean and Johnny and Westwood. He sent you a coin.
Oh, really? Wow. Hey.
A Silverlight coin. That's like double good stuff. So I'll be taking that to Westwood's in June. Hopefully everybody can join us there. Make sure I got, JB Rance is here. John Morgan's here.
Captain Morgan.
Okay, I think I'm caught up. Oh, Top Shot Hernandez. I hope he's coming too.
I think so.
And Polly P.
Bullseye.
I think Polly's coming to see us this weekend.
I've heard that. I heard a little rumor.
I hope so. Anytime you guys are in Oklahoma, please reach out. I'd love to see any and all of the fam.
Unless you're Maxie.
Unless you're Maxie, yes. Then please don't come threaten my life.
No Bitcoin Maxies. Only Pepe Maxies in here. I got the green shirt on. Pepe Maxies.
I noticed. I saw your video today. It was cracking me up. Oh my goodness. You know what? Speaking of free markets, like, we have to remember who the real enemy is. And that's also another point I wanted to bring up today. I'm seeing a lot of, there's so much news out there right now. And we're just talking about, like, what should we even talk about? And the thing that I'm seeing most is the more good news there is out there, the more FUD and just filling the feed with things that are divisive, that they want you to say, to retweet things. Be very careful about, use discernment about what things you're sharing. Like take a minute, don't be impulsive, and think
Calm
about like
down. Trust
calm down.
yourself.
Yep. And think like, is this something that is sharing information that will bring people together or bring something positive to the table? Like, does this bring good to the world? Because some of it is just, it may be true, but it may not bring any good to the table or bring all of us together. And ultimately, like I keep going back to that Kim Clemente prophecy, and it says America will stop eating their babies, and then we will become one, and then a humble man will come and heal. I think he says heal the money. I can't remember the exact words. But I think we have to get to we become one. We get rid of the parties, and we stop seeing each other as the enemy or the other one. And right now, that is the narrative. And we know that this last week, writer strike, the mainstream media is breaking down. That is a good thing. But there are also they that are still sending messages of, racial divide. There's some really strange, if you're looking at the lens through this and not the world, then they can make it look like whatever through that one little, window.
Right.
But
Look
that's
at that
not
tree
really
over there. It looks horrible. And then you look at the rest of the forest. It's beautiful and bountiful
right.
and green.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
a dead
So
tree. Look at it.
zoom out.
Look at this dead tree.
Yeah. Zoom out. Go walk around a park. Talk to your neighbor. Go sit at a coffee shop. Make a friend, and talk to the whole human, all of the human experience. There's some good people out there. So,
amen, sister. So be it.
Yeah, good stuff. Oh, one more shout out, because I shout out Stephanie Bice. Also, Mark Mullins got something. He's got a bill that he's putting in with Matt Gaetz for, Stand Your Ground, or is it called Stand Your Ground? It's a 2A thing. So right now, I guess I didn't realize this, but there's a thing where like, if you don't, if someone's attacking you and you don't run away first, if you fight back, you can get punished.
I think it depends on the state.
If you defend yourself, you can get punished. And so they are like saying, here in Oklahoma, they're passing a thing that's like, no. If someone attacks you, you have every right to defend yourself with your 2A. And so I'm very proud of him for that, sticking up for Oklahomans' rights to defend themselves to the fullest extent. So thank you, Senator Mullins. He's a senator. Yeah, she's a representative. He's senator. Anyway, cool stuff. Good stuff. And then a little more Oklahoma news. Got to brag on my state. Pretty proud. This guy who did a great job defending our state constitutionally and setting up our treasury with a lot of gold during the Great Infection, Governor Stitt, he signed a trade agreement with Britain and said foreign governments were increasingly looking to bypass what he called dysfunction in the U.S. Congress and to forge favorable trade deals with states like his. Do you think we'll see more of this, where states will go directly making trade agreements with other countries because of the sanctions and the dysfunction in Congress?
Yep.
Okay. This is the way. You heard it here.
This is the way. I always think of the Bitcoin maximalists when I hear this is the way. It's like, this is it. It's the only way. It's the only path. It's the only way.
It's not the only way, but...
Well, it is the only way. You got to understand. Y'all are just ignorant. You don't understand that Bitcoin is the only way. They'll figure it out. Lightning, high fees. It'll work for the people. No worries. Staying true to the Satoshi white paper, right? Sorry, I'm salty right now. No, I'm really not salty. I really don't care. I think it's funny. I like to make fun of the whole thing because, if you're wrong, you're wrong. You can make fun of it.
Go for it. Have a Westwood rant. I love it. Montana officially signs bill protecting Okay, well, give me a little time. Let me do a little. I'll do a little news update.
Preach it, sister,
then you
preach.
can you can go into West Virginia. Montana officially signs bill protecting the right to mine Bitcoin into law. Thought that was pretty exciting. It was International Firefighters Day yesterday, so thank you to all the firefighters that risked their life. This was ridiculousness. I don't even want to talk about stupid Jill going over there. Anyway,
it's Dr. Jill to you. Dr. Jill, if you're nasty.
Whatever.
That.
I won't say that.
Dr. Jill.
Bombshell email reveals former CIA Director Mike Morrell pleading John Brennan to sign his name to spies who led intel letter claiming Hunter Biden laptop story was Russian disinformation to get Biden.
There's 50 of those people, right? Weren't there 50 of those intelligence? That was the big thing. All these intelligence agencies. They've all said that it's Russian disinformation. Remember that story? Remember that BS? And now it comes out as usual after the fact, just like how they revise all the numbers on jobs and payrolls and all that stuff after the fact. We revise it. But anyway, it's that was the big talking point. Well, all these defense agencies, they've looked into it. All these heads of state, whatever, they've said that it's Russian collusion, it's Russian interference. And now you find out that, 50 of them lied, just signed their name. Okay. And
well, why? Is that because a bunch of them didn't actually sign their oath or whatever, and so they have no consequences? Thing. Or is that separate?
That could be too. That's an interesting take on it. Possible. Okay. But still, I mean, the fact that they signed it, fraudulently, there's got to be something to do, some kind of law for that, isn't there? I don't know. They're supposed to be public servants, and they're, what a joke. And it's like military intelligence. What an oxymoron.
The oxymoron of the century.
Oxymoronic people.
Yeah. A bunch of these, more information of this is coming out, more implicating people and that are visiting the island. This was a big one. U.S. government.
Ellen's studio? You mean Ellen's backdrop in her studio?
Yes.
Oh, no, the actual island. Okay. I
got you. Yeah. U.S. government most likely to run out of cash to pay bills, which they don't really have cash to pay bills. It's actually a debt. It's like their credit card ran out of room to pay bills on Monday per Moody's. So, yeah.
It's probably going to happen before June 1st. I mean, if we say that it's real and it's it's probably going to run out before June 1st. Well, it could be. I'm just like, okay, got any money in the bank, any check coming in or anything? Get that out.
Notice that a lot of these things happen on a Sunday, and
slow news cycle.
Most banks are owned by a trust. If you look at it, the Fed is a trust. They have a board of trustees, those kind of things. Very interesting. Mom made a cute post about the meetup that we had in Oklahoma City. I thought was really sweet.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Yeah. Robert F. Kennedy is dropping truth bombs out there. If you're not following him, make sure that you're following him. I did have a great exchange with my friend and my banker, Jill, and last night, and she gave me a shout out today, and she's like super amazing. And it was about this quote that Langford had called out Yellen and said, so are you promising that the depositors are all gonna, and she said, Lisa, it's not a banking crisis, it's a market crisis. And I said, oh, okay, that makes sense. And that's part of the distraction, is they're wanting to because it's the dollar dying, the market's dying. This is not just about the banks. The banks probably will still be here and will be serving us. They're wanting to scare everyone. They want to cause a run on the banks and push everything in the big into JP. It saves JP Morgan and all that, is my understanding. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Westwood?
Well, no, I think that's it. It's always about consolidation of power, consolidation of wealth, assets. That's what they want to do. And what do you see happening? Problem, reaction, solution. Problem
Right.
is, this bank might be insolvent. Okay, everybody wants to take their money out of the bank. Well, anytime that happens to any bank, the money's not in the bank. I mean, let's just realize that it's fractional reserve banking. They have a fraction of the reserves that you put in. It's gone. So if everybody goes, not even everybody, 10% of the people want to go and take their money out of the bank, it crashes the bank, screws everything up. Everything goes haywire. So that's what they want. They want to create a panic so that, okay, well, let's have the big banks handle everything along with the Fed and absorb those smaller banks. So panic everybody out of the little banks, make it, a crisis, and then absorb all these banks into bigger banks. Because at the end of the day, what's the goal here? I think you talked about it yesterday. Consolidation of power, have 5 banks to where they can control them all. The Federal Reserve, the government, the whole fascist system that it is, all intertwined like the fascies, that you see in the Senate. Here, look at that. And behind the Senate, fascies, fascist. Anyway, bundle of sticks wrapped up. So they want concentration of power so that it will be easier for them to control all the money flow. And then once they have everybody running through those 5 banks, they can create their CBDC, digital programmable money, and say, okay, it's easier to control that then. You got to get your assets in here, you're going to transact, and you get your wallet and cash, they'll just kind of do away with it. They're just not going to have it. They're not going to say ban it. They'll just say, it's not going to print anymore since 2017. And when it's gone, it's gone.
So this is so biblical that, they keep saying it's biblical, all that. So one of the things that I learned that I do believe is God's word in the Bible that says, when God talks to you, you'll feel peace, love, joy, gentleness, goodness, kindness, long suffering, which is patience. And when you are not hearing from God, you are feeling, and it's always trust your gut, trust yourself. Westwood always tells you that. You are being led by fear, jealousy, greed, anger. Well, if it's not God talking to you, anxiety, yes. Who's talking to you? Well, it's not the little angel on your shoulder. It's that other guy. And so what are they? That's one of they, and somebody else we know sings a song about they.
Kick me off of YouTube.
That's right. They want to scare people out of the private banks, out of, get rid of mom and pop businesses, all of that kind of stuff, and then point at the banks and say, oh, they, so Jill was telling me that there was just a report that came out about banks on Monday. And so you guys can look into that and go have a conversation with your bank president. She's the president of my bank. She's accessible. She's honest with me. And she didn't get greedy during this lending stuff, whatever. And they aren't overextended in commercial loans and whatever. They're very solid. And so I know my private bank is a safe place to be. Now I'm also about being personally responsible. So I don't keep a lot in the bank because that's what we've decided as a family. But we also know that it is it's a safe place to do our banking or our business. Right. And we need to support our local. Yes. And I want to support my local bank, my local private bank, and support, because that is a local business. That is a mom and pop local business. I don't want to work with Chase and Wells Fargo and all these other,
Let's put the local pizzeria out of business, and now we all have to eat Pizza Hut.
No.
No. Who wants that?
So anyway, I thought it was really interesting because we had a really great conversation about it. That remember that this is a market crisis, not a banking crisis. The dollar is dying, not the banks. The banks will probably still be here. And I think Uncle Cliff talked about that. The banks will be here, but in a different capacity. They'll be, and I said, well, they can make me a cup of coffee and give my kid a lollipop and help me pay my bills or whatever and be a service.
Listen, they can set up crypto wallets and be crypto custodians. Not that you want to be, but I mean, for people that are
for some people,
I'm not comfortable handling this. I'm a degenerate gambler. I can't help myself. And so, can you please hang on to this stuff for me? I don't trust myself.
Well, and I have friends with, elderly parents or children with special needs. There are people, not everyone can self-custody. and that's okay. You know, there are
Right.
people that need to have services for them, or you know, businesses or different things that needs
Right.
situations that need custody or
I mean,
services.
there's a need for it. I mean, if you think about it,
Mhm.
okay, back in the day when there's gold and silver, and it's like that's your money. Okay,
Right.
I'm not real comfortable. I'm kind of a weak individual. I can't defend myself. I don't
Mhm.
want all this gold sitting around. Can somebody take care of it for me? That's what a bank should
Mhm.
be for. They should
Right.
be a good custodian for whatever wealth you have, and that's what should be happening right now. I mean, with
Well, and
whatever form
even
of
think
money it
of
is, even crypto, even dollars, whatever.
some of the like big, like the old really OG crypto guys were found bragging about their how long they'd been in or whatever, and like, well, give me your keys, and then
Yeah,
like their family got kidnapped, or
right. You
they
see it
got
happening,
killed or whatever
right?
for their 12 words or whatever, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
And it's
So
like,
it
I don't
may
have it.
get
It's in the
to a
bank.
point where, yeah, where everybody goes, no, it's a normal thing that you wouldn't have it, that it would be in a bank,
Mhm.
or
Hey, as long
maybe
as they're
that's a
trustworthy,
multi-sig, I don't know.
and they serve the purpose. See, that's where government and regulation is supposed to come in, though, to make sure that they follow the rules, but they don't. And you see Powell up there and yelling up there saying, well, we're going to learn from this. And, you know, this is a good, you know, we're going to change going forward. And Elizabeth Warren,
Her
we
statement
need
was,
more regulation. And it's like,
yeah, but
let's throw more money on the fire.
Yellen's statement was so telling. She said, only if a supermajority of the board and a supermajority of this, and if I say so and the president says so. And I
Right.
thought, you're paid by the IMF. You're not even, you're like a foreign agent. Why would anyone trust you? Why would she doesn't have our best interest at heart?
No, definitely not.
I
Definitely not.
mean,
And see,
why would
that's
she be given that power?
well, that's a good question. And it's grown unchecked for so long and gotten so out of control to where it's almost like you have to shove the pendulum the other way. It'd be nice to be able to transition smoothly, but they've just taken it so far one way that we got to pull it back the other way. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. We're just going to decentralize completely, you know. And then at some point, like, okay, well, really don't like holding all this stuff. Can we like, you know, is there some kind of bank that can hold this stuff we can trust, you know? And it'll come back to that. It's just we're so far at the extreme right now that,
Mhm.
you know, it's just we got to swing the thing back the other way or pull it,
Yeah.
you know. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Good banks aren't bad. You know, it sounds silly to say that, but I mean, if it's a real bank, you think about it. You know, you got a bunch of gold and you want it vaulted and you want somebody to take care of it and you got armed soldiers, you know, and they want to protect it. What the Knights Templar, and that kind of what they built their money on, you know, holding reserves and money and gold. And I mean, there's a use case for that. There is, but it's got to be a trusted source. You got to be able to trust them. They got to have a reputation. It's got to, you know, you can't right now, unfortunately, even if it's a good bank, they got a bad rap. I talk bad about banks. When I say banks, I'm kind of referring to them in general, sweeping
Yeah, I think
generalization
when I
there.
say it, I'm talking about like central banks
Mm-hmm.
and the Fed. Like when I
Right.
say banksters, I don't mean credit unions and private banks and
Right.
local banks.
Your local banks are
So,
just playing by the rules that have been given to them, you
mhm.
know. And you just showed Trump, and you know, people get on Trump, says, well, he didn't pay any taxes. Well, it's because he's following the rules, and he's just telling you, I don't have to pay taxes if I structure things through the loopholes that have been created.
Well,
Same with the
and we
banks.
don't
They're like,
know that he
I got to
did or
play by these
didn't.
rules. No, we
We
don't.
don't know that he did or didn't. He never said whether he did or didn't, and
No,
they received his taxes,
and they never
and
did anything
then
about it, so
they
there's nothing
never
there.
they never disclosed anything. So we don't know whether he did or didn't. All we know is there was nothing dirty there, or they would have disclosed it.
They're like, well, shoot, I've done a lot worse than that. We better shut up. You know?
Right. Or they don't want whatever he has done, they don't want the public to know about it, because
Correct,
then the
because
public could do it.
exactly, and then they can't have that. No, that's
Right?
our system. It's our closed loop. I don't want anybody knowing how this operates.
That's what I'm
No,
kind of thinking.
no, I think so. That's a lot of it. It's also, you say it's corrupt, but I mean, you think about it. Somebody gets elected with the best of intentions. They go to Washington and then they realize just the malaise and just the gridlock and just
I believe
all
that
the
too.
deals that have to be made. And they're just like, shit, I just want to get this one thing through. Well, if you want to get it through, you got to vote for this whole omnibus thing. And you're like, I just want to help my people that I'm supposed to represent. fine, I'll
Yeah,
vote for it.
because
And so you
I
vote
do
for a
believe there are
crap
some
bill.
good people there.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's like there's no other way to get it through. And at least my people benefit back home, you know, and so you justify it and rationalize it because you're like, we're not gonna get anything if I don't vote for it. And so, you know, that you're in such a bad spot because it's grown up so long and it's so entrenched and it's such a bureaucracy. If you ever worked in a corporation, I mean, you understand how it is. It's like, really? You're paying this guy to sit there and sleep? And I mean, it's like, yeah,
I
you
saw
know,
that.
take it
They
back, take
released
it back.
that video of the congressman sleeping in the and he got so just raging on them because he was sleeping through all these votes and
I mean,
whatever.
I kind of
But
get it though.
that's how helpless he probably feels. Like, doesn't
Right.
matter
It's
if
like,
I'm here or I'm not here.
right.
Like, you know, your first year of college, I
It's like,
didn't even show up.
I'll
I have
get
to show
through
up
it.
for test days. Yeah.
Right. We're not in high school anymore, okay? That's the shock value that first year. No, it reminds me of, once again, one of my favorite movies, Casino. There's the one local yokel, you know, Robert De Niro's running the casino, and he's just this shark, basically, you know, just very precise. Everything's got to run right. And then, you know, the station's dirty by the slot machines. He's like, you got to keep a cleaner station. You know, he's, oh, okay, boss. All right, boss. And he's like, can we get rid of him? No, we can't get rid of him. He's juiced in. What do you mean he's juiced in? Well, his, you know, cousin's you know, this or that in the local county that, you know, writes, you know, whatever. And in Nevada. And it's like, we can't get rid of him. And it's like, you kind of, when the things build up and there's enough money, it's like you got people in there that they're just a problem. And you can't really get around them, and that's where we're at in DC. You got this entrenched system, and it's just like so hard because they're going to stonewall you, you know, and you can't get rid of them. Try and drain the swamp, you can't even get close.
Trump's last speech. Well, it wasn't his last speech. It was oh gosh, where was he? Was he in Ohio or Iowa? I don't know where he was, but he said, I realized they couldn't get rid of the trash in Washington. He said, it's all over. It's all over the highways. I was driving in, and he said, so I just started cleaning it up myself.
I mean,
and you know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I know. No,
he's not talking about picking up paper off the side of the road.
Yeah, you don't see Trump out there in the ditch, you know.
No, he's talking about getting rid of.
It's like, well, there's other ways to do things.
Yeah.
You know, and you think about, you know, what used to run Vegas. You know, the mafia used to run Vegas. And it's like, yeah, we'll get things done.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say. There's a lot of
holes now all
in the
of a sudden,
desert. You know?
AOC is standing with Gates to hold people accountable for insider trading.
I'm telling you right now.
But you don't see her.
I had the feeling.
Just pictures of her.
Right. Again, Elon, you know, kind of the same type of thing. But I always thought that she was almost like or whatever, that image, that thing that she it was so extreme, but it was comedic extreme. You know what I mean? It's almost like, it's just almost too over the top. And I thought at some point that would kind of switch and be the foil, you know, to kind of pull.
Like
they'd flip
Jimmy
the switch.
Carter.
Or RFK. Hey, this is a lifelong Democrat. Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy, lifelong Democrat. And now look what he's talking about. He's talking about all the things that Trump kind of talks about. And he's talking about, you know, a lot of the things that it's almost like a mole.
He has a brain, though.
That's been in the party. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, time to flip the switch, you know, because you've got an audience. And it's time to flip the switch to like enlighten people and kind of shock them into awareness. And I think there's a lot of those characters out there that are kind of the cult of personality in a lot of ways, that you kind of grab onto it, you follow it. It's got a big following in social media. And then all of a sudden, well, wait a minute, why is he talking about that? Or why is she talking about that? And it makes people think then. It starts activating their mind a little bit because they won't listen to the other side. You know, you're not going to listen to Trump if you're a Democrat.
No.
You know what I mean? And so no matter what his message is.
Well, and the Kennedys are the old school Democrat.
Yeah.
You know, the people, like I have friends that are Democrats because their parents were Democrats and they were raised Democrat because of the Kennedy family, because of the working man Democrat, which is what the Democrats used to be until they were, you know, hijacked.
Right on.
Yeah, by the communists.
No, 100%.
Party.
And there's a lot of that layover to where it's like, I know a guy that, former neighbor, he was a bricklayer, union guy his whole life. Vote Democrat, doesn't care who it is. You can put, does not matter who it is, going to vote Democrat because, you know, they're the union party. You know, I'm going to vote for Democrats. And it's like, we got to break all that down. Just like, you know, either party, whatever you're, you know, it's just time to stop, time to get away from it and realize who's really screwing you or what's screwing you. And are they participating in the screw game? If they are, we're done with them. I don't care what side of the aisle they're on. It does not
But they're
matter.
jumping ship. We don't even have to be done with them at this point.
I know.
Like, CDC director is jumping ship. There's stuff coming out right and left.
Where's Fauci?
Walensky, yeah, he's in. He's gone. He's been gone a long time. Project Veritas is bringing out this Too Young expose with the Dallas Medical Center or Texas Medical Center. They've been hiding stuff from parents. There was more stuff with, there was another guy bigwig who, I'm probably making you guys very dizzy. I probably should not have that up there while I'm scrolling.
Yeah, that's why I'm not looking. I'm just
sorry.
Larceny bourbon pouring into my glass, or I should say my plastic one. Can't afford glass. Didn't get into Pepe.
AOC asked Feinstein to resign because this is interesting. Another one that she's obviously being told to play along. Her net worth skyrocketed to over 200 million. And she's also been recently not showing up to some of the time, so that because of her absence, some of Biden's appointments aren't going through because they didn't have enough votes.
Thought you lost the Senate and didn't have any control, and now all of a sudden they don't have the votes. Mitch McConnell disappears, comes back, looks like he's just whooped.
Emaciated, yeah. Oh my gosh. Whoops.
There's that.
This one picture.
Looks like he's lost all his blood. What's wrong with the guy?
Yeah, this is the other really big breaking news is that like there's so much stuff every single day. I feel like we just talked about just the news from today, but Grassley agrees internal FBI document shows that Biden was involved in alleged criminal schemes as VP. Like, this is huge stuff. And this was just May 4th. May the 4th be with you. This was a weird 4029 always puts out weird, like calm, like tweets, but they said this.
It's the 5th. May the 5th be with you.
Yes. I know, Westwood, you're hilarious. Yeah. Everybody, may the 5th be with you.
May the 5th be with you.
And have a hoagie with it. Researchers radio collar first bear in mountains near LA. And then I click on it, and it's all about cougar. And then the military has all these.
These are terms that. Okay.
So the cougar thing is like a military. Is it?
Well, it has another meaning too.
Well, it's like a military nuclear, or is it gosh,
one would say that.
Dang it. I would go find it. Well, anyway, I'll find it later.
I've been referred to as a bear before, you know, it's in a different way. Not that it's true.
I've been referred to as a cougar before.
Well, there you go. You know, no coincidences.
There you go. Let's see. Class action for Australian government. This war has to be stopped. Bruce Porter Jr., unlocking your potential. He'll be speaking at the Bitcoin conference in Miami.
Oh, isn't
good guy.
Tulsi Gabbard speaking there, and also Robert Kennedy Jr.? I think he is.
Well, now I want to go. I don't like her so much, but I like him.
I hear you.
I'm not sure about her. I should withhold my judgment on her.
I know. I'm not.
There may
sure.
be some misinformation on her.
Obama-esque for me.
Yeah, I just don't like all her abortion stuff. Is not cool.
Yeah, I know. People say that about Robert Kennedy too. It's like, there's some things that just, it's all a fraud. Again, if they're talking about it and getting it out there to where you're awakening to more information, ultimately it comes down to you making the decision. Who cares what they say? But if they're giving you taking you down paths and having you look. It's just like the whole 17 movement. Who cares if it's putting information out there so that you can go do some research and that you wouldn't have done before? It's good for humanity.
So there's a Netflix. Chris Rock did his Netflix thing, and it's very
the fake punch. I don't think
it's very on the fence. No, I don't think so. But it's very on the fence, and it causes you to critically think. He doesn't tell you. He does not tell you what to think. But he gets these people clapping, and they think he agrees with them, and then he goes and he slaps them right in the gut. Oh my gosh!
He's like,
I'm not gonna even tell you, but it's very adult. But you should go watch it, because at first I was like, I cannot believe he just said that, and then he says it to them, and he makes them think about what they were just clapping for, and it's pretty. He turns it right around on them.
It shows how easily
really
though
good.
that personalities can control your emotions, and you kind of go along with it because everybody else is laughing. Yeah, applause, applause. You know, the sign, the whole fake Hollywood thing. And then you're like, wait a minute, I didn't really think about what I was just clapping about. I hear, you know, if you ever watch Jimmy Kimmel, which I know you don't, and right now, especially not because they have no writers, because he's got no original material, because no writers. But if you ever watch that and some of these late night shows, and they laugh at some of these jokes that are just cutting down like legitimate people, and you think, who is this audience?
Human life.
I mean, they're just not thinking. But they go along, and it's like, oh, I'm sitting here. This is so exciting. The lights and everything.
And it's such a narrative. Like, I had a conversation with someone I really respect, and he was like, well, it's a human rights issue. And I said, well, I guess you just have to decide what's a human, you know? I was like,
they're vampires.
Yeah. I was like, I totally agree. It's a human rights issue, you know? And he's like, and then I was like, I guess you just have to decide what's a human. You know, if you have to kill something, it was alive. That's kind of where I land on it. So anyway,
I can relate to that. I saw that coyote run by. Remember I told you about the coyote?
I know.
And then I saw the coyote running by. I'm just like, signs. There are signs. Coyotes. What's the coyote?
I was trying to find that tweet for what today is. Get a little woo-woo today. First of all, let me just enter this one, Lucio Paletti, because one of my favorite artists in the crypto space, next to Mame. I love Lucio Paletti. Lucio Paletti. First of all, I think he needs to make shoes just because of his name, Lucio Paletti. I would wear all his shoes. But he's a beautiful artist. Like this, somebody bought this for me one Christmas and sent it to me, and thank you, whoever you are, because it made me feel really special, and I love it. And I had it framed and put in my office because I think it's amazing. And then he posted this today, or somebody who bought this, I guess, posted this, and I always love featuring his work. So shout out to Lucio Paletti.
I love Lucio Paletti's work. I would like one Litecoin.
So cool.
I want to see like a limited Litecoin run, and I want one of them. I know he's on Bitcoin.
I would
if I could get like a Litecoin Lucio Paletti, holy cow.
Yeah.
I'd spend all my Pepe on
it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take this off of screen share so I don't make you guys vomit while I scroll. But I wanted to find I have a woo-woo post. Oh, wait, look at my cute little puppies. Look how cute. They just got a bath. Aren't they adorable?
They are so adorable. I miss them.
So Rebel Rose has her little ears sticking up. That's how you know that. And then Remington Justice. They look way bigger here than they are in real life.
Yeah, they're nice.
Remy is like 3 pounds and Rebel's like 4.5. Or maybe she's not even 4.5 yet. I don't know. They're little bitty. But they're adorable. And they were watching Westwood today, and they could see Westwood's puppies in the back.
Run around,
and they would make noise. And so then Rebel was like kind of growling and watching Westwood.
I love when they do that.
It was so cute. Yeah. Adorable. My sweet little babies. So I had to send Westwood a video of them today.
I know.
So
I love
cute.
it. They're out there watching TV. Like I need a big screen TV with my mug on it, but I see this huge screen TV, and they're chatting away. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just like.
I do want to let you guys know also, I'm continuing to put the lightverse.io Mame's NFT in all my videos. I'm going to do that for the rest of this year, as long as she's got NFTs up there, because that's a way you can continue to support her. Those are NFTs that she's created. They are one of a kind, Team Mighty NFTs. That money goes straight to her wallet. That's Litecoin that goes directly to her. That's a way that you can support Mame while she fights cancer and takes care of her family and loves on her sweet little daughter that has the same first name as my sister, my oldest sister that passed away from cancer, which is a bizarre, like, synchronicity twist. We are all family. We're all here together to love and support each other. And so that's a way you can also be a part of the Litecoin fam and community, is to go to lightverse.io. So the link is in the description for her NFTs. I also put her Litecoin wallet if you feel compelled to donate to her directly. So I'm going to do that for the rest of this year while she's in her fight. Hopefully if she comes out of it remission before the end of this year is up, or whenever her treatment ends, and she tells me, Lisa, take that off of there, then I'll take that off of there and we'll all celebrate together. But that's my plan, is that for the rest of this year that she's our Team Mighty beneficiary. So
go get an NFT.
Share that.
Buy an NFT off the lightverse.io.
And you're giving peer-to-peer. Yes, that's peer-to-peer transaction to benefit somebody.
Less than a penny to send the Litecoin. I don't care how much Litecoin it is. You're sending less than a penny. I mean, okay, here's a good one. I'm telling you, you're going to have a massive meltdown of Bitcoin maxis, because I use the fold card. I use Lolly, and you get Bitcoin back. So after a while, I make enough purchases, with dirty fiat, that I got some Bitcoin that I can transfer out. And I saved up, $76 in Bitcoin. And I'm like, all right, let's transfer that out. And I get it in my wallet, because you can transfer it out on those. I scooped them all off. And I'm like, all right, I don't hold Bitcoin. I get rid of it as soon as I can get it, And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to get some Litecoin. Maybe I should get some Pepe. I'm thinking, I don't know, weighing it. And I went to look at the transfer last night. Okay, if I want to transfer it into anything, just the regular fee was $6 to transfer the $76 in Bitcoin. And I'm like, here we go again. This is the same thing that happened in 2017, to where people found Litecoin and said, oh man, it's under a penny to transfer everything I want. Whereas if I had $10 that I want to send to somebody, it was going to cost me $6 to send it. So I can only send them $4. I mean, see, this is what happens with, as a store of value and holding it. Okay, Bitcoin, I get it. But as far as a daily use case or any kind of use case, man, it's painful. It really is.
Isn't Uncle Cliff's data that countries will exchange in Bitcoin and that Litecoin? Happen. Yeah, because of the fees. And
you can't afford it. And Javier sent me a great video. You'll have to send it to Lisa, Javier, about the game theory on that. Or there's a military guy talking about it. He was a really smart young kid. He was talking about, hey, in nature, did you see that?
Well, so I ordered the book a while ago. It's Jason P. Lowry. He's a major in the United States Space Force.
That's probably I think it is.
And it's called Soft War.
Yes.
And I actually what's funny is Javi sent it to me on Thursday, and we were talking about solutions on World Blockchain Roundtable. On Thursdays, I'm on a show called World Blockchain Roundtable on Dragon Chain channel on YouTube. And with a bunch of these really super, super smart guys. I don't know why I'm there, but they asked me to be there. And they were talking about some solutions, and I was like,
there you go.
And there you go. There is a solution for it's a novel theory on power projection and the national strategic significance of Bitcoin. Yes. And it's about securing with
information.
Bitcoin.
Securing information. And that's what it is. It's the power and the cost, because it all comes down to this. Hey, there's a lion. There's a cost to go into battle with that lion. Mm-hmm. Do you want to do it? Usually you're like, no, I'm not going to do it, because I understand. Look at the claws. Look at the teeth. Look at the size, muscle. Probably not a good idea. And so that's what he compares.
This one out.
Right, exactly. It's like, man's got to know his limitations. Not going to go to battle. And so that's his whole premise of what Bitcoin is with data. It's like you've got this largest military. You know, if you want to go, you want to dominate the seas, you got to have the largest navy. Dominate the air, got to have the Air Force. You know, so forth and so on. Ground, got to have the Army. And so his thesis is that, listen, we're in a data age. If you want to secure the data, you want the most powerful, expensive thing to attack to secure your data, because Bitcoin would be like that lion. You can't just go out there and flippantly, 51% attack that network. The resources, the energy it takes to fight the Bitcoin network, because it's been around for so long and there's so much investment put into it. It's got, it's a killer. It'll kill you. It sits around like the lion does, like, I don't give a F,
Which is why I think that the U.S. has been mining Bitcoin for a long time, just secretly.
Oh, I think so. And
that's another tweet.
I think Satoshi's probably part of the government, just saying. And they've got all that Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, you think of SHA-256, the algorithm that they use, that's an NSA algorithm, isn't it? I mean, that's, so, I mean, to think that that's not a part of it, I don't know. And that gets into a whole wormhole. I mean, not rabbit hole, but like a wormhole in space that you're going to go through if you want to talk about that stuff. The good guys, bad guys, who controls it, who's behind it, factions, this and that, Star Wars, But he makes a good premise that, I mean, if you want to attack the data, because, you can put data on Bitcoin now, and that's why the prices are higher now, because you got ordinals, you got information that you can write to the blockchain. And so the price to transact little amounts that I want to transact, to me, it's not worth it. So I don't attack it. I'm like, I ain't doing it. So I'm going to let it sit there. And when it gets cheaper, if it does, over time, it won't. But, if I find that sweet spot, I'll be like, okay, put it over here. Because I'm looking at it from a different perspective of, I need to use it now. I want to move it now. I want to use it, Whereas, however, if you're like the U.S. military, you don't care, how long it takes that aircraft carrier to move. You're going to build it and you're going to have it. When you have it, look at the devastating force that it is. So it's an interesting concept, because he relates it to nature and the animal kingdom and what it is in the digital world and with data.
Yeah, so I shared
how powerful these networks are.
I shared that video of Major Jason Lowry, the software, the little clip to
he's like a 28-year-old major. I don't know how old he is.
Brilliant kid. Yeah. I shared it to the Team Mighty Telegram. There's a link in the description for our Telegram group. We call it Team Mighty because that's kind of like our fam here for the channel, and you can join that. There's no cost. It's just like we share information and kind of chat with each other, a bunch of us in there. So you can join that for free. You can also join my Patreon, which is where you can support the work that I do on the channel. I put a lot of my resources there. You can also privately message me there on Patreon, and I appreciate all the support that I get there. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on, so you were just talking about ordinals on Bitcoin. I saw this tweet today, I guess 84 million tweeted it yesterday, but it says the floodgates are opening. Ordinals bots. We have a small experiment going over on Litecoin. There's now a deployment. You can mint LTC 20 tokens on Ordinals Lite. How will this affect Litecoin?
Okay. Again, it's the same game theory, to where at some point the market will take care of itself. Nature will take care of itself. Market, nature, same kind of thing. To where right now, excuse me, it's not the cigar, to be honest with you. It's I had to cough because I breathed in all that freaking glyphosate from the fields, and I'm still recovering from last week. But there's I'm not worried about it. Build everything you want on this stuff, because these are the most powerful digital networks that exist. Bitcoin, Litecoin, these things have been running forever. They're solid, and the cost will go up to transact on them. And, right now it's under a penny to transact on Litecoin. At some point, maybe $1 for a transaction, maybe $100. Bitcoin, maybe $1,000. And that's no joke, because it is that powerful that everybody wants to get on board. It is that supersonic bullet train. It's that thing that everybody wants to be a part of. It's that, Starship Enterprise, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Put your memes on it. But there's only limited space.
But it's not a Death Star.
Not a Death Star.
Okay.
Those are some other things. But these are networks that have proven themselves that are solid, that protect your data. And that was his argument, the major. It protects you.
Sorry, that scared the crap out of me.
Stand by.
Oh, you guys, that scared me to death. I'm sorry. I think that Westwood has a visitor. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so I think there's a lot happening on Litecoin. There's a lot happening like in the background.
There's a lot happening in the background.
A lot of these coins and projects.
You're excited now.
There's a lot of development happening. A lot of times that when projects are the most quiet is when the most development is happening. And I feel like everything is about to bust loose. So we'll see, what's going to happen from there.
No, I 100% agree with you on that, because if you look at what the Litecoin culture is and who developed it and the kind of guy that he is, laid back, doesn't hype it, doesn't super promote it. There's like a lot of people complain he's like the worst spokesperson for Litecoin because he's just very conservative. But you look at the implementation, you look at the things that have come about, you look at Mimblewimble, you look at SegWit, you look at the cheap transaction fees, you look at everything that makes it the perfect form of digital money, and you think, this guy knows what he's doing. And then you look at his history, where he comes from, where he's worked for, and his education, and the background is important. So it's just, it takes on the nature.
He went to the same school as this kid.
Yeah. I'm telling you, everything that comes out of MIT, that's every cryptocurrency. It's like an MIT free license or something, in the background. Yeah. It's an open source. It came out of a very intelligent group of people that, I don't know, we'll just leave it at that. Do your own research on it. But he's kind of the flavor, the character of Litecoin. He's not flamboyant, and it's just,
he's very humble.
I just want sound money. I want it to work. And you look at his background and what he talks about.
And most of the people around him,
money,
are that way as well.
Yeah, and it attracts a lot of people to Litecoin. And a lot of people are like, "Oh man, that's a dog coin." I get comments all the time. Litecoin's a dog. Look at the price. You should have gotten into this. You should have gotten into that. And the funny thing is, nobody told me to get into Pepe, though. They told me to get into these other coins that are better than Litecoin. Nobody told me to get into Pepe. You didn't give me that tip. No, Litecoin's a dog. All right, whatever. So, you look at that. With money, you want money to work. You want money to be sound. You want money to be reliable, consistent. You don't want,
I was going to say one of the big criticisms that
it's boring,
that crypto gets, is that it's too volatile, and you cannot you can't say that about Litecoin.
No, it's got its moments where it goes, and if you really want to get fiat dollars, you can take a lot of fiat dollars out and and do something with it. But if you look at Litecoin, it's very stable, it's very consistent, it does what it needs to do, and it's growing and growing and growing and growing, and hash rate and adoption and wallets that are being opened. So it's fulfilling that need, money of the people. It really is, and it's cheap transaction fees. So you can't. I don't want my money to go to zero.
Yeah, the other thing I think about is back when SL and I were doing videos with Brandy, and Brandy knew nothing about crypto or silver. And two things. Brandy said she had like this vision of, well, now I'm having the silver memory come back to me, but she had I'll stick with the Litecoin memory. She said Litecoin will be, she saw it like an arc or a boat, and she said it will be like a bridge coming down when there's like a flood or troubled water or something. And she said that it will be like a bridge. The reason it's being kept down is because it will be a bridge for people, so that they can get out of troubled water or something like that.
Yeah, so that's why the savior.
Yeah, she said that's why it's being down. Yeah, all those words around water, bridge, down for the people, like lifeboat, all of that stuff. Those were all the words about Litecoin. And so that they would be safe and be able to get on the boat, because they won't understand that they can't buy a portion of it. They'll think, oh God, I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. And so they'll look for, they'll be drowning. They'll be drowning and they'll be able to get on the lifeboat or get on the bridge to get on the, anyway. And then the silver thing, she's a real young girl and she hadn't watched The Wizard of Oz, or not the old one. And so she was describing the opening scene of the old Wizard of Oz, where grandma, she goes, okay, I'm seeing, yes. She goes, I'm seeing like, it's like black and white. And I'm seeing like a grandma in a rocking chair and there's like a tornado. She goes, you live where there's tornadoes? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, there's like a grandma, and she goes up and she goes, but she's in this rocking chair and it's back and forth. And she's like, and then she comes down, but she's in like the neighbor's yard, but she's safe.
Yeah, I remember that. And I'm like, you never seen The Wizard of Oz?
And I know, and I was like, you're talking about silver. We were asking her about silver, and she was describing The Wizard of Oz, literally the opening scene. And I thought, well, is that The Wizard of Oz silver? We know, and telling that story, silver slippers, and is that Mexico? Silver.
I mean, it could be. I mean,
up and down in our neighbor's yard.
Oh,
and she's
you
safe.
Never know. Yeah, you never know.
I don't know.
It's that whole Wizard of Oz thing is really an analogy of money. I mean, because you got the yellow brick road, the golden path, because that's what it was. It was, gold is paving the way to the Emerald City, the dollars and all that. But the silver slippers, they're not ruby in the book. The silver slippers are what she puts on, and that's the magic that protects her.
But why was it so important for them to take that out of the book all these years?
Good question. Why did Hollywood do that? Because ruby's more flashy? I don't know.
Well, I don't think they could have made it any color.
Shoes, Lisa.
Oh, gross.
Oh, now you get the Hollywood connection. Okay, all right.
But they hid the silver shoes all these years.
Yeah, but in the book, it's silver slippers.
Yeah.
L. Frank Baum, if you go Wizard of Oz. I mean, that's what it was.
Silver
because it was about gold and silver,
monetary
systems, and the path, and the things you go through. And the
Wizard, silver just had
Federal Reserve, the wizard behind the curtain in the Emerald City of gold or green. I mean, it's all symbolic of the situation that we're in right now. And that's why I love dogs, because who exposed the great and all-powerful Oz that was controlling everything behind the scenes with the levers and smoke and all the BS? It was a little dog, a tiniest of dogs. That's all it takes. It takes that innocence to just see, like children. They're like, wait a minute, you're going to give me this $1 bill and I can't buy anything? Can't even buy a candy bar with it? No, I can't. It's like, can I turn this into Litecoin? I mean, they kind of get it.
Yeah, that video's on my Patreon. It's old, but it's on my Patreon. And then I saw this guy, somebody retweeted it. So then I followed this guy out of respect for him tweeting this. But he said silver had just had its first weekly close above a 12-year resistance. The train is leaving the station.
I mean, that's huge. Absolutely huge.
Huge.
And these things move slowly and then suddenly. I mean, and that's really what happens. We're building up to a scenario where everything that's up is down. Everything is down is up. I think Clinton said that. And we're at that point right now because this is not the time to be monkeying around. This is not the time to be thinking, oh man, why, I second guessed myself. Why did I get into this? I know it's the right thing, but nobody else sees it. When they see it, and see, this is why Pepe is so important right now. When people wake up, look what happens, how quickly things happen.
Yeah.
When the energy of the people say, you know what, I'm in, everything just blows minds.
When they say, I want a puka shell instead of a...
Yeah, I don't want the pearl anymore. I want a puka shell.
Or I want a tulip.
Yeah, I want the tulip. I don't like roses anymore. I want that color tulip. No, I want that color tulip. And it's just... And that's the power of people, though. That's the power of humanity. The people don't understand that, the power. And look at Pepe. I don't even know where it's at right now. It's probably like 30 on the market cap. Absolutely crazy. And people are like, oh, it's BS. That's garbage. That's crazy. It doesn't matter. people say and want hope, and they're scratching that lotto ticket because they don't feel like they can get out any other way, and they're participating in that game. And that's fine. It brings more people into crypto. It gets them looking at it, gets them understanding ups and downs and markets, you know, and that kind of thing. Which
is
a
it
good
just
thing.
Pepe? P-E-P-E?
P-E-P-E. Yeah, Pepe. Pepe.
Okay.
The frog. Pepe the frog.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It is. But, you know, I mean, is what it is. Look at it.
Okay.
Look at it. This is what, imagine if the
it
bank
started on April
17th.
17th.
Oh.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. It is now, let's see. Oh, it's down a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
but compared to what?
As of earlier today at noon,
you gotta watch the minute chart on Pepe.
Yeah, I don't even. I'm on a 30-day. I guess I should look at a 24
Go to like
hour.
the 1 day. Go to the 1 day.
Yeah, 24 hours.
This is what you're looking. It's human emotion painting itself on a chart.
Dear
That's what
Lord.
it is. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
1150. I mean, that's a lot of zeros. I don't even know how many.
What's the number right now? What's the after the zeros?
Right now.
What is it?
After the zeros is 324.
324. Okay, it was
I can't even count that many.
It was like 4 something earlier today. Last night it was like 225, and then it went to 425 today. Right. It's like almost doubled in 1 day, 12 hours.
I think it has 5 zeros.
I'm not saying get into Pepe. I'm just saying this is what can happen when people wake up and retail us start looking at things and saying, you know what, I got to get into this. You know, I resonate with this.
Here, what if I do Pepe to USD $1? I'm gonna see how many Pepe.
Because there's like 420 trillion of them. So it's
I'm just trying to like let people understand. Or what if I do? What if I do it the other way? 1, 2, 3.
Hey, give her the link, Daddy-O, to go to that. Try and post.
So
to go to that
100. What is he giving me a link to?
No, just go ahead, continue, and he'll do his thing.
Oh, okay. He's doing his thing. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna post something in there.
Okay. 1.
Because it ties
100.
And we're gonna go full woo-woo.
1, 2, 3. 100,000. Pepe is like 32 cents.
No, 100. Well, that probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is.
Don't say not to me. Okay.
Nobody puts Lisa in a corner. Nobody.
Sassafras.
Not even West.
Lisa, go look at post. I don't even know what that means. Oh, no. Q post?
Yes. And you know the link to the site. What is it?
I know. I don't know how to do that.
Well,
believe it or not.
There it is. He just posted in the chat.
Okay,
Click
but I can't.
Click on the link.
I can't do that through this. Okay. I can't grab it from here. I have
You're
to,
gonna love it.
Type it.
Love it.
Okay. HT.
Wasn't it a tweet, Daddy-O? DM or a tweet? A tweet.
Can you Is it in our group chat?
Yeah, I think it is. But you know how that goes. Right now there could be like 50
somebody at the
freaking messages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, can you just DM me privately?
We live parallel lives, Lisa. Somebody's at the door.
Someone's
Who could it be?
At the door.
Who could it be now?
Daddy-O, can you DM me privately? Please.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at these things, and to me, it's positive because the future of money is digital. I mean, there's no way around that, and that's where we're at. So getting more people to understand that and trying to find the tools and use the tools. How do I get Pepe coin? Used to be, how do I get Doge? How do I get Shiba? You know, having people ask those questions is a good thing. Now, they might get into it and get burned. Doesn't matter. The fact is they've gotten themselves into it, and they've taken that step that they wouldn't have taken before to where they're looking at digital money and they say, wow, this actually is something, you know, something that, you know, can increase in value and I can use. And so to me, Pepe it's an important thing to kind of open the mind a little bit and start looking at digital currency, digital money. And once they're in it, then they can do their own research and make their own choices. That's the benefit of this. I mean, because it really is to me. And it's not just, the old system and how things are done in the CBDC. I think Cliff's right to where it's going to fail multiple times. I think the CBDC's already failed because the messaging's already out there. You got all the presidential candidates. You got DeSantis banning it, in Florida. You've got all these leaders right now, these politicians talking about cryptocurrency and talking about how bad the CBDC is. So when they roll it out, it's going to fail before it even rolls out. Yeah, I think so. Yep. Look.
Dun, 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 dun.
Look where he's at.
Oh, he's playing a game.
And the message is?
And the message is, are we going to play the new video game? Mm-hmm. Cast of characters should be interesting. It's not meant to be funny. Sends very important message. Cast of characters are known. Oh, good.
And remember, and then you've got Pepe right now. Pepe that used to be, everybody's, it was associated with the whole 17 conspiracy. And now mainstream's coming into Pepe and they're like, what are you talking about? No, this is the way I can make some money. This is my lotto ticket. And so when you tie it back to that, it's almost like somebody kind of had some foreknowledge. And, all these symbols, all these things matter. They really do. And I think we've got time travelers or time seers or, I don't think that we don't because we believe in the Greeks that had oracles, the oracle at Delphi and all these things throughout history, soothsayers and people that smoke peyote and see the future. And we go to psychics and we get readings through tarot cards and crystal balls and all that stuff. Don't think that doesn't happen now. It's just happening in a different way. And the future is already, I don't even want to say it's the future. The ever-present now, right? Everything's already here, and it's just like opening and channeling that frequency to understand where we're at, what can happen, and how we can change things. And I mean, again, Henry Ford said.
Oh, wow. That's like a Litecoin shirt.
Is it?
Did you just see that one?
There's a 17. No, I missed it.
The one right before that was the Litecoin shirt.
Probably is the light. It's the lighthouse.
It was the shirt from my first, not the first, but the first time I went.
2019.
Was it 2019?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Was it 19?
Bet me, Bertha. 2019. Las Vegas.
Okay. Yeah, it was the Vegas one when I brought Mom. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I had been in for a little while. This one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Litecoin Summit. Sure. Yep. Vegas. It was Route 17. Choose your path.
Mm-hmm.
Get on the right road.
Makes me so happy.
I have no doubt right now. I feel I got up this morning at 5 a.m. like I usually do, take the dogs out, and I looked at the moon. Oh, my goodness. Look to the west.
That's what I was trying to.
It looked to the setting sun. It looked like a setting sun. It was so huge and orange and glowing.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the energy and everything.
The whole full moon tonight is the 5x5x5. So today is the 5th of May, and it's 23 year 23. 2 + 3 is 5. That's why I was saying 5x5x5. And there's meteor showers tonight. Then there's the whole Kentucky Derby thing, which I don't understand the pink of the Kentucky Derby. Do you know about that? What the significance of the pink at the Kentucky Derby thing is? That has to be some woo-woo thing. I don't know if anybody knows about that. Please leave a comment and let us know about that. But yeah, there was a weird, maybe I sent it to you.
All I know about horses is, you give them beer and then you give whiskey to your friends. That's all I know about that situation.
Beer for my horses. Yeah.
Whiskey for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
You finish the rest. That way we won't get.
And there was the Sterling versus.
Speaking of Sterling, tomorrow it's the big deal. Get up at 5 a.m. and watch the whole coronation thing.
Oh, no. I'm not.
The British Sterling.
No. Assange wrote him a letter, though, from prison and said, you should come visit the prison that I'm in that's named after you and eat the, they like cut up
gruel.
fish heads or something and feed it to people and then make them eat in isolation. And then he was saying all this and he's like, your humble servant or something like that. Telling him how horrible it is to live there.
Hey, you know who was a good friend of Prince Chuck, or soon to be King Chuck? Up Chuck. He's moving up the ladder. A good friend of his was a guy named Jimmy Savile. You might want to look him up, and you might want to understand who that guy is.
Fucking pervert.
And his cousin, you know, the guy that was kicked out of the royal
children to
Prince
people.
Andrew, you know, and his connection to, you know, some people that died, you know, didn't kill himself. You got to look at these people and who they hang with. Birds of a feather flock together.
I just have no tolerance for those people.
No, absolutely not. But it's an understanding of who these people are, and thinking that, oh my gosh, look what they did in the past. Look at these kings of England, and look at these kings and of different countries and what they did. Oh, it was just horrible. Good thing it doesn't happen now. Or does it? Where does the vampire live, Lisa?
I don't think it does anymore, but
in a castle. Where children are falling out windows.
Or tying sheets together, climbing out windows naked. Yeah. Oh. Where was the other? Okay.
Underneath the Getty Museum? No. Where was it?
Oh, well, I can show you that video where that girl is trying to tell people about that.
All kinds of clues. They're all around you. And it's just a matter of, you know, they want to keep us in a situation where we're just treading water and barely making it. And if you really step back and you've got the time to step back and look at things.
Okay, look at this. I'm not following them. I thought I was following them because I got this tweet fed or served up to me, which I liked it and shared it, but I'm not following them. You can see.
Yep.
But somebody wanted me to know about this because I had this tweet served to me. So I then shared it with my family, and they told me I was a tin hat and made fun of me. And I was just trying to keep them safe. Then later the next day, I believe.
Oh, then something happened.
There was something happened in Houston after this warning that there would be a training exercise.
There's no connection. It's just coincidence, Lisa. I mean, come on.
I know.
Happens all the time.
I'm such a tin hat. Yeah. And I just told them that there's a lot of cognitive dissonance and they would have a lot of pain coming to them, and that I send them with love and light, and I wish them well. So
sounds like a good lesson. Somebody said some wise words there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Dissonance. Yes, you have a lot of cognitive dissonance. Yeah, there's a girl that was talking. Here's Julian Assange's letter that he wrote to Charles. This is pretty significant. I'm not going to play it because I'll probably lose my channel, but she talks about, I don't know, maybe we're past all that.
Might be.
I don't know. I don't know what I'll do when we're past all that.
Some people are built for the conflict, huh?
I mean, I have such a passion to
this is my struggle. See, I don't want to engage in help. I don't want to fight. Yeah. I just want a message. I want to put the message.
I think messaging, I think there's always an opportunity to help. And I'm trying to think, like, I don't think I've always been fighting. I think I've always been, like, I'm very nurturing and feel like I've been nurturing and helping. I don't feel like I've been fighting. But then we've been in this part where then I am like, then I get into the mama bear thing where I'm protecting my family. And then I will throw myself on the bomb or whatever to protect my family, my children, the fam, whatever. And I feel like we've been in that for the last couple of years, that I guess I'll go back to the nurturing part.
I'm going to stick to what I know. Cigars, whiskey, and dogs. I ain't changing.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I'll spit a little truth out. You know, I'll turn the camera on. Don't know why, but I do.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. I love watching your videos. We watch it every day. If you guys aren't following Westwood, go to YouTube. Look up Clint Westwood. not the band, because they don't know what they're doing, but
No, they don't.
Clint Westwood, the one and only, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend.
Or you can go to clintwestwood.net.
Yes.
And I've got my link up there. And then above that link, there's a great big link in like giant font that says 2023 Happy Hour Tour. And if you click on that, it's got some new information on it. There's actually going to be a meetup near Westwood in the Midwest. Midwestwood.
Okay. I am so excited about this. So
ClintLightwood.com.
ClintLightwood.com. This was so exciting to me. I cannot wait for this.
We're trying to get today.
Yeah, a bunch of the family there, a bunch of the crypto fam there. I've been inviting some people that I'm working with some projects on to be there.
Run out of room.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But the Peoria Pizza Works, it has a big, great, like kind of a double space.
We got overflow room. I talked to Gary, the owner, last night.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Yeah, how many are you gonna have?" And I'm like,
"This year it might be really big." Yeah,
I'll have to call him and say, "Hey, you need to get another staff member in there. You might have to serve some drinks up, Gary." Which I hope he does, because he pours Jack and Coke, like, or whiskey and Coke, like 3/4, and then a little bit of.
Yeah, he's very generous soul. And this is going to be a great event for all of us to be at. It's just really casual. They serve amazing
pizza. Click on that top link.
Yes, check out. Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong
way
page.
At the top. Way at the top. Big fat letters at the top. You're there.
No, I'm not. I'm back on this, but it's showing like.
Click that link at the top where it says 2023.
I can't. Hold on. I'm not on that screen. I know you think I am, but I'm not. And now it's not showing it.
Serenity now.
Where did it go? Usually it has like a big blue square.
Has everybody seen this? I'm seeing this on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, if you go to clintwestwood.net, there's a big link at the top. You can't miss it. If you're not wearing your glasses, you might. But then you click that link at the top.
It's not like that on my end. I am on the screen of StreamYard, and if I'm on the Clint Westwood page, but it won't show me the Clint Westwood page right now. So on my end, all the little tabs, if it shows the Clint Westwood page is showing, then it'll have a big blue square. But I can't find it. Oh, I have too many tabs open is why.
Oh, that's why you can't
hold on.
Delineate the tabs because they're like lines.
It's too many. Hold on. No, there's one. Okay. Now I can go there. And
there we are. And we saw the Oklahoma City event there. Scroll all the way to the bottom. And the next event right there
is Peoria,
Illinois. It's got the location details, free to attend, tip your bartenders. And the thing is, to make it easy, I want to set them all up with crypto wallets so you can, send Litecoin.
That's a great idea.
But you know what? I mean, this is kind of, if we don't have time to do that, here's a great secondary thing to do. We can always set them up with wallets afterwards, because by then Venmo should be accepting crypto. And everybody's got Venmo, so we can send them Litecoin to their Venmo account, and then they're going to come back and say, "All right, when it's $1,000, what do I do with this Litecoin that you tipped me?" Because Litecoin's only one of the 4 cryptocurrencies on Venmo. You don't see.
Which that's really smart. Yeah.
Yes, and so whatever it takes, I'm all about using the tools that are there. I know. Like, oh, you need to set up a wallet peer-to-peer. Yeah, I get it. That's ultimately where we want to be. But as we transition, because that's where we're at in this transition from the burning Rome, fiat, vampire system, there are tools that can bridge the gap. And so if you can get them into Venmo in May, this month, they're supposed to allow you to withdraw the crypto. So if we can tip them in, Litecoin there, they can have it. And they're like, wow, look at it go. And then they're going to say, how do I get this into something that I can buy some real stuff? Oh, here's the easy way to do it. Or how can I put it in my own possession? Oh, here's the way to do it. You can transfer it out and put it in your own wallet. Boom. Put it in your own frog wallet. I got to reach out.
Sad Frog is doing something too. What's he doing? Something. I've been following him. There's something else coming out with like
Trinity's in the house. Yes, Seinfeld.
Something with umbrellas. Yeah, I've been seeing umbrellas everywhere. There's been umbrellas. Like,
Who'll
I know that's a thing
stop the rain?
too.
I don't even know if that's a lyric.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I know it's a thing.
What's the lyric, Paulie? The rain. Who will stop the rain? That's not it. See, that's the thing. I'm the guy in the car when I'm singing a song. It's just like totally wrapped
You're just
up
trying
like
to get my.
in the middle of
You're
the
just
night.
trying to get my channel busted.
Yeah.
For singing. But anyway, we want you guys all there. You can. There's some places close by on Airbnb. There's a little town called Washington that has a darling little hotel that's like it's got
old
great.
School bank.
It's
was
it a bank?
Yeah,
okay.
On the
it
corner.
has super nice beds, and it's a darling little like old hotel that they've redone that's very like boutique-y, and they have a great little breakfast bar in the mornings. I can't remember what it's called, and it's on like the little town square. It's adorable, and it's pretty close to Peoria, but it's not like in Peoria.
Right.
There's great places in Peoria. There's some
Peoria
great hotels
Heights,
in Peoria.
Is. There's great
Peoria
restaurants.
Heights
there's so many great places there. It's right next to Grandview Drive. There's a radio station. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt. that went along Grandview Drive overlooking the Illinois River and called it the world's most beautiful drive. And so there's a radio station, WMBD, world's most beautiful drive, still in existence. So,
you know what? We need to try to get on that radio station before
we should.
The meetup and do like and do a thing and promote the event.
You're right.
I'll call in.
Peoria used to be known as Whiskey City because there's so many distilleries. It was funding the national government. I mean, it was like the hotbed. If you go look at the history of Peoria on the river, because you're around all these cornfields, need corn to make whiskey, and it produced so much whiskey. It was just unreal how much it produced.
So, what's the name of that radio station again?
WMBD, World's Most Beautiful Drive. WMBD.com.
I love it. Yeah. So check out that radio station. They're in Peoria. When you're there,
they have tours. They have whiskey tours. The old, downtown district. And a lot of it's being renovated. There's a distillery down there now. That's pretty cool. They use all local.
So they're like really supporting local, like Bet on Main Street kind of thing.
Trying to bring it back. That's
awesome.
History. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we can partner with them.
There's a cool museum there, the Riverfront Museum. Caterpillar was formed there, where they started making the big yellow tractors. That was the headquarters until they moved it to Chicago and now going to Texas because Illinois is crazy at the state level. But there's a lot of things to do. There's a minor league baseball team there. That's really a nice stadium to where you can go watch, minor leagues, single A for the Cardinals. There's a lot of stuff to do. I mean, it's a pretty cool town. It's a river town, a lot of history. And the Peoria Pizza Works, it's an institution. It's been there forever. Blind Dave will tell you he's never had any better pizza. Never had better pizza.
That deep dish. There's a deep dish pizza that he orders like the biggest one. And then he's like, you guys come have some pizza. And we all it's great.
It's a good time. So, I mean, if you're going to make one trip this summer, actually, it'll be close to summer. It'll be the equinox, which is important.
It is June 21st.
Yeah, which is
23rd?
my prediction. My prediction.
45 days for the Litecoin halving.
$240.
Oh, is it the 17th? Okay.
I'm saying June 17th. It's probably going to be the 21st. It's probably going to be the 23rd now because we're manifesting it. But we're going to see Litecoin moving. It's the pre-halving pump. We're going to see it go up in dollar terms. So all you Litecoin holders that are saying, I might come if Litecoin goes up. Come on, man. Just get there because we'll make it go up. We'll manifest it. Get to Peoria, Illinois, and see us live. We're going to do a live happy hour from Peoria Pizza Works in Peoria on June 23rd, 4 o'clock. Get there.
Supporting local businesses with local people, with the fam, and talking about freedom, family, crypto,
everything
sovereignty,
that we can't talk about here.
All the good stuff. Yeah. All right. Big hugs, friendship, freedom, fam. And having your assets in your own possession.
Yes. And if anybody comes to this meetup, open up a Whitecoin wallet with Wednesday with them. If
open a White Claw.
Is Letha in the chat? Because I feel like I'm channeling.
She's not.
Letha
No,
with a lisp.
no,
Letha, is Letha in that?
she's not.
I feel like I'm kind of going into that mode now. Maybe I should have another one. But if
Well,
anybody comes
we're
to this,
about half an hour over, so you're
well, if
allowed
any,
to list.
I'm okay. We're like after hours now. Happy hour's over, and now we're paying
Yeah.
full price, and hey, you're
Mhm.
going to get the full dose. If you come to the meetup, I'll set you up with a Litecoin wallet. I'll send you some Litecoin. You'll see how easy it is. If you don't know what it's all about, what cryptocurrency is, trying to get your head around it and think, you know what, this Pepe thing got me excited. I want to get into it. I'll teach you how to get it, where to get it. That's on you then at that point. I will send you some Litecoin, though, and you can do whatever you want with it. I'll help you open a wallet so you have it in your own custody. Do whatever you want with it. Learn how to send it. Learn how to use it. Pay peer-to-peer. On a Sunday when you're selling your card, you don't trust the banks, the fake money that they're going to give you, the gold and silver that you can't test. You can trust Litecoin. You know that it's going to go through because an independent network that's decentralized, outside of government control, outside of the Federal Reserve, outside of any bank. You can be your own bank when you have Litecoin. And there's a limited supply. There's only 84 million that can exist. Right now, you can get one whole Litecoin for about $90. You take that Litecoin, that 84 million, 8 billion people in the world, that's only enough for 1/100 of a Litecoin each person. If you get one Litecoin for under $100 instead of buying that lotto ticket, that's your long-term lotto ticket because you're
You
100
can
times
do
ahead
that.
of anybody else. And I'll
Yeah,
send you some
and
Litecoin for free if you show up to the meetup. Just show up.
the
It's
yeah,
free.
the other thing you can do is go to litecoinlisa.net and you can join our online interactive classes. Westwood and I are going to be having one tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
There's a link right here. It says online interactive classes. Click that blue button right there below that, and you can sign up to join. It's a 2-hour class at 10 a.m. Central to noon Central, and you'll have us for 2 hours to help you set up wallets
Any
and answer
questions
any
you have about
questions.
crypto?
Problem solve if you're struggling with something. We've had people show up for like what we thought was going to be a 101, and they already had crypto, but they needed help with different things. And so we'll do our best to help you with resources and solutions for you. So,
And the
if
good thing
you need
is,
help, or if
I'm
you
still,
just want to hang out.
yeah, if you want to hang out, Paulie, you got nothing to do tomorrow, you want to hang out, sign up for the class, and you can give me a bunch of crap. Yeah, hey, you hung over from happy hour now. No, but it's if you want to donate to Lisa and her channel and her cause, sign up, get a ticket, and don't show up. Hey, you can do that too.
It's a great way to spend some time together and ask questions, whatever. But that's an opportunity for anybody that's watching. So that's kind of a new thing that we're doing.
I want to bring something up, a little woo-woo. Yesterday, when you and Johnny, I got done mowing. I sat down at the picnic table, the table of knowledge, as Javier calls it.
The table of knowledge.
Table of knowledge, TOK, hashtag it. So I was sitting down at the table of knowledge, and I was watching, I was relaxing, okay, I've been bouncing around the mower all day. Sat down listening to you two, and then boom, I'm like, you froze. Both of you.
So both of us did? Okay, because on my end, it was just Johnny.
Right, but here's the
and
interesting
people were
thing on
saying that.
They were still commenting, and I had a comment that I posted, and I thought it posted, but it didn't post. I said, I got rugged, and then I posted it later. But at the same time, when that happened, my internet went out here. And I have fiber to the home. I've got a local company that's got fiber lines all the way to Chicago.
I am on fiber, and I am hardwired into my computer.
Yes, I know. And so it happened to me too. And, I don't believe in coincidences. And then I go into the house to check it out afterwards. I'm like, what is going on here? Because, I don't lose internet. And I work at home, and it's got to be reliable. So I've got the best that I can get. And I went into the house, and I'm like, looking at the backup power supplies, and they're beeping. And I'm like, what is going on? I look at the voltage. The voltage coming in from the power company was sending all the sensitive electronic equipment haywire. TV worked, refrigerator worked, everything else worked. However, it was sensing that the voltage coming in was anywhere. Now, is Benny still in the chat? Because, this is a conversation he would know. He's an electrician.
Oh, he would know.
Because what was happening is the voltage coming into the house was like 113 volts, 118, 17. It wasn't 120.
So I saw
And
something about those smart meters being really dangerous
I'm telling you,
earlier today too.
and then to go along with it, I'm like, okay, is it because the ground squirrels have gotten under the transformer in the backyard because it's kind of leaning like this? And I mean, I'm like, oh shoot, now it's finally they've gotten it to a point where it's disconnected. I'm thinking that. No, I go over to Mitch's house,
They're
and the same
working
thing's happening
on
there. Same thing's happening
at
at my
the
parents' house down the road.
outside of my neighborhood. There's literally, like, we were driving in today, and there's a big Edmund Electric, and the guy goes whoop, and cuts the line at the outside the, and I was like, well, no power for you. Like they're working on something. I don't know.
Another Seinfeld reference. No power for you. Get
No
out.
power for you. No soup
And
for you.
so it was interesting that it
But
happened
we
at the
refuse
exact
to
same
get
time. I know.
the
Charlie told me the
smart
whole
meter
story. I know.
on the house, and then now
Ben
we have
just
to
had a
pay
video
extra.
on Saturday about this. Go watch his video from Saturday about this. And this is nothing new. Power, our internet over electricity was a thing. I used to work at CAT and IT department back in 20
But
years
did
ago.
you get my messages about the helium stuff?
Yes. Yes. And it's very interesting because I think that's the path going forward. And I happen to have a helium miner here that I got to put out.
Somebody gave you. Mm-hmm.
Some wonderful soul in Edmond, Oklahoma, happened to send it home with a digibug. And I love Charlie for that. You two are amazing. I just want to shout that out again. I don't like going on the road. I freaking hate it. I hate leaving home.
I'm just glad I wasn't there when you left, because you get real cranky before trips.
Oh, I get upset.
But then he's so happy once he's there.
Then I get here, and then when I leave, I'm like tearing up because, little dogs are there and everybody's asleep. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave. But I got to get home.
I know. We love being with the fam. It's so hard to, like, once we're together, we all love being together so much.
I felt like I was back at the Cosmic Bus Stop. And I'm like, all right, what's the next journey? What's the next journey? What are we going to do?
I know. But we miss our it's so hard being away from each other, and it's so great being together. But it's like, I don't know how we do this. But I'm so grateful that we ever met. I'm so grateful we get to do the show once a week. I'm so grateful for the opportunities when we can be together and that we get to share our life and do this thing and meet all these amazing people that are, in the chat with us, sharing information every week, in the fight with us, trying to help humanity. Like, I feel like the luckiest girl in the world getting to fight the fight, And
you chose to do this. And the beginning of your life, the first half was probably
forever grateful.
Or the first quarter. That's not the first half. The first quarter of your life.
I would choose it all over again if it gets.
Because it led you
I
to
get
where
to
you're at
be
now.
this part of it. Yeah.
Right. You're the sum of all your experiences. And if you hadn't had one of those experiences, you might not be here right now. I wouldn't be here right now. If I had.
You win or you learn. So none of it is bad. No. I think about that book, The Shack. One of my favorite books, and it's like,
is that a Dolly Parton thing?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
But this guy, like, his daughter gets killed, and it's a horrible. The first chapter or first couple of chapters is very difficult. Like, it took me 3 days to get through like the first 2 or couple chapters because I just kept putting it down because I was like, a child dies and it's very difficult. And this is before my daughter even died. Like, it just horrible. But once you get past it, and then he's like meeting with God, and God is God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, and like Christians. God's big mama in the kitchen. God is Jesus, the carpenter, and God is the Holy Spirit, like whoosh the wind, whatever. And so he's having this talk with God, and he's angry, and he's like, why do you let bad things happen? And I don't know if he comes back the next day or says that. And he's like, well, what do you mean bad things? And he's like, I knew you from the moment you were created, the moment I spoke you into existence, or that I knew every hair on your head and what would happen, because there's no time for God. There's time for us. So we think things happen.
And we have to go through it.
But we are these experiences.
Get closer to God.
Yeah. And so something for it's kind of like God's like watching us, like we watch ants, an ant doesn't go, oh my God, this stick in front of me.
Watch dogs play.
Yes. It's just a thing. And it's just part of their experience. And these things in our life that we see as good or bad are just part of who we are in our journey. And even now, even losing my daughter, or having something good happen, meeting my husband, is just part of who I am now and what makes me. It's not a good or a bad thing. Both of those things are just part of who I am now,
Who are
and I'm
you?
grateful for all of it.
Yeah. Who am I? I am that I am.
Yeah.
I am who I am because of all of that. I wouldn't be here saying this, doing what I'm doing right now, going through these motions, if I didn't become the person in this vessel, having not gone through that. You're here for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. You're here. But no matter how much baggage, no matter how much damage, no matter how much, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have
And
done
none
that.
of it's bad or good. It's just
No,
all things.
it
We're
makes
all
you
just
who
little
you
broken
are.
pieces bumping into each other.
Yes.
And we just all need to have a little kindness.
Get over the baggage. Let it go.
Yeah. And you're not a victim of it.
No, it's made you who you are.
It's just part of who you are. So,
and
I
who
don't
you
know.
are right
I'm
now
grateful
is the
for all
important
of
thing.
it. Yeah.
Like Paulie says, I am grateful.
I am
Every
grateful
day,
too.
I am grateful. And that's how you have to look at things.
I'm grateful.
Here. I'm experiencing this. I'm here to fight another day. And it's not a fight because we've already won. We just haven't realized we've won yet. And that's really the key to everything, understanding that we win. I mean, it's not a competition. When I say we win, it's hard to express it, in this human form, but we have to go through it. We have to.
And aren't you excited to go through it? Like, who would want to get to, I think about, that made me, when you say we have to go through it, I think about when I was a little girl, I was born in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and there's the London Bridge there.
Yep.
And they had these hedge maze. When you go, you could go into the London Bridge entrance. You could walk through the gate, or you could go through the hedge maze. And my parents would get there, and all of us kids would want to go through the hedge maze. So much more fun to go through the maze.
Yeah. And bump into stuff. Wrong turn.
Into stuff.
Go back
and
this way.
Change, go back. All four of us running through there like little crazy people. And who wanted to I don't want to just walk through the gate. I want to have the adventure. I want to go through the experience. I want to learn something. I want to be challenged. I want to grow, and so I'm all about having the experience. So, and I know that's what I choose. So
that's why we're here. We chose it.
That's why we're here.
And own it. Own it.
Yeah.
Understand it. And just every action you take today influences everything that happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everything you do, every single thing that you do influences and changes the world. Butterfly effect, everything. And once you understand that, I mean, who cares? Let go of all the BS. Let go of all the narratives. Let go of all that stuff and put it aside and say, you know what? I'm going to live how I was born to live. Just like the dog lives. Just like the lion lives. I'm going to live how I want to live.
I don't think a dog beats itself up over a mistake.
No, not at all. Get spanked and they're like, okay, I guess I won't do that again. Like, where's my food? And it's just, you keep going. They just keep going. And it's a very pure way to live. And we have to get back to that purity. Yeah. And it's just, this is all a game. It's all simulation. It's all a theater stage. It's all scenery that they put up in front of us. And when you cut through it and you look at the beauty that there is out there in the midst of all of the things that we call darkness, I mean, we got to see that darkness to be able to see that lighthouse.
Yes, that's what we're seeing right now, you guys. Remember that when you're seeing the darkness, like, it's the darkness is always there. Was there, is always there. Yeah.
And it's urging you to transform,
to choose the
what
light
you used to be and become that child of God with that innocence that you were born into this world with. We come on the wings of God, from heaven. And there are so many people that have channeled into this and taught us this throughout history in literature. And that's my background. If you go back and look at the Romantic poets, you go back and look at William Blake, and you look at that whole thinking that, listen, we're all spiritual people. We're all these beings that are here experiencing this thing now. So let's use the vessel that we have to act that thing out, to awaken other souls, because we're all on a different path. I mean, you know, some of us have done it many, 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 many times, been at that cosmic bus stop and said, where are we going next? And, you know, I'm like, I'm not going back. And Lisa says, yeah, you are. Come on. You got to do this with me. We got to do this. And I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not going. And once again, you know, boom, drag me along. And it's because I got, you know, just this week, I've gotten DMs from people to where they're like, you got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep doing the thing that you do. And to me, it's like, I'm just doing what I do. And they're like, no, you don't understand what you're doing and how important it is. And I mean, I do and I don't, because I'm kind of that guy that's like, I really didn't want to come back from the bus stop. I was happy. I like being, you know, up there. And it's just, you've got to, but it's important to wake people up and kind of nudge them and not necessarily push them, but to give them the validation that you're part of something that's greater than what you think you're part of. You know, all this stuff that they've deceived you with, all the Hollywood, all the tricks, the Hollywood, the magic trick, the Hollywood.
Oh, that's so done. Yeah.
You know, and it's just, no, none of that matters. And that's why I always say, trust yourself, look inside, because all the answers are inside. And constantly we have scientific evidence that all the DNA holds, you know, all of the libraries that could, you know, all the written word that could ever exist is in your DNA. It's already there. You know, and you open that and you tap into that, what some people call the Akashic record and the third eye and all these things. You've got it all inside of you. You know, when you dream, what are your limitations? What are your limitations when you dream? I mean, you're part of the infinite again when you dream. And so
you're telling yourself, no, that's not possible every time. Yeah.
Right. And so why are you truncating and clipping your ability to do the things that you're here to do? I mean, there are no boundaries. I mean, it's infinite. I mean, if you really believe that you come from the source and you're part of the source, you can't think that you're not experiencing that every day. Just tap into it. That's all you gotta do. Just go walk away and
just trust yourself.
Hug the tree, man. You know?
Yeah.
I'm saying, trust yourself. Go where your heart leads you.
Absolutely. Well, I hope your heart leads you to Peoria, Illinois. Yes.
See, there you go.
There you go. Well, so you guys can go to likecoinlisa.net, click on events, and get that information. You can also go to clintwestwood.net, the big banner at the top. Click on that. You'll get the information about Peoria Pizza Works and our meetup there. It's free. You can make a donation if you'd like to support our efforts for travel and getting there and doing the meetup. We appreciate any of that, but just get there.
Buy me gin and tonic.
Yeah, there you go. Support his liver. And you can also join us on likecoinlisa.net for the online classes on Saturdays. You can sign up for any of those that are there. If you do, it sends me an email to notify me that you signed up for a certain Saturday. So we're looking forward to all of those. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the live chat. Love to all of you. You're all so wonderful. And we're grateful for all of you.
Love you all.
Yes.
Love everybody. Don't let the noise get in your way. Trust yourself. Don't live a life of quiet desperation. Know that you're here for a greater purpose. You came here for a reason. Fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it comes down to. Trust yourself.
That's right. See you guys. Love one another.